Featuring Jeff Goldblum, featuring me, Mr. Tyler Armstrong.
And featuring me, Mr. Austin Armstrong.
You got your name right today.
I did.
And featuring me, Janine Armstrong.
All the Armstrongs are here, everybody.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Janine Armstrong.
There you go.
Mr. Janine Armstrong.
Get those pronouns right.
Yeah.
Title.
Title. Whatever.
Different.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Okay, fine. Uncle Janine Armstrong.
That's even better.
Yeah, that's me.
So which one are you related to, Duke or Brenda?
The Armstrongs.
Original Armstrong? So Duke.
That'd be Duke, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd have to be. Well, so I had a weird little experience. Right after I drove by Austin, I took a little break from work and went up to the house to pick up some packages. And on my way back down, I'm driving past Austin, I wave. Driving, get into Felton, hit Graham Hill Road, and as I'm going down Graham Hill, the car in front of me just like slams their brakes super freaking fast out of nowhere. So I slam my brakes and I'm about to be pissed, like, what the fuck are you doing? And then 3 horses, no humans around, just 3 loose horses just come barreling down Graham Hill and then turn and like take off like towards Wild Roots and then like down Highway 9. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then sheriff cars were chasing after him. It was a whole thing. So I'm like, oh, hopefully they catch up to him. Yeah, it was like an hour ago. So
I'm
then,
sure sirens blazing really helped them slow down.
Yeah, totally.
I'm worried about the horses.
So anyway, I get back to work, right? And police cars roll up like down the tracks and like line up at my work and come like banging on our door. So I open the door and I'm like, hey, how can we help you? And they're like, there's some horses loose. We got 2 out of the 3 of them. I'm like, okay. How can we help? He's like, well, the 3rd one's somewhere on your tracks. And we're like, what? He's like, yeah, I went down Highway 9 and we were in the cars behind it trying to like, figure out how to catch it. And it took off up your track line and we don't know where it is. So then they sent speeder cars out looking for it and everything else. And it gets a little rough, guys. So prepare yourselves. But they found it. It was running at such a high speed over what we call the half bridge, which is like a bridge in between this little zone, just beyond Rincon, just on the way towards Santa Cruz, and it got stuck in the bridge.
Oh, in between the ties?
Yeah, in between the ties and the bridge. And it's too heavy to get out. So they were basically coming up with a plan. So as we've left it, last news, they were trying to figure out the condition of the horse. They got a vet in there. They have tractors and a crane coming out on our train cars that they're loading to pull down to try and lift it.
You're going to hoist it out with a tractor?
Out, yeah. They wanted to like chainsaw the ties. We're like, not only would that not help, but that would destroy the bridge and the horse in one fell swoop, which is not a good move.
Yeah.
Anyway, embrace yourself. The news I got like minutes before you arrived is that they had to put the horse down because its legs were broken.
Oh, poor horsey.
Yeah. And they're hoisting it with a crane out of the tracks. This is after we had our trestle break the day before and all the weddings got shifted because they're all supposed to be train weddings.
Make me cry.
Nobody knows where the horses came from, though.
They came from East Ziante Ranch.
East Ziante, okay.
Those horses went on a run, man.
Yeah.
They went from a ways up Ziante, down into Felton, through Felton, onto Highway 9, and all the way to Santa Cruz.
Holy
and then 2 of them there managed to wrangle, I guess, with like horse people that knew what they were doing, who like got ropes around them and were able to like calm them down and get on them and ride them back.
Lassoed them?
Yeah, like straight up cowboys.
Wow.
Well, I'm glad at least 2 of them made it.
2 out of 3. 2 out of 3.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was the end of my workday. We were just calling every different place, and I'm talking to the cops because we're talking to the cops too because the night before they obliterated our crossing on Highway 9.
I got stuck
with a drunk driver that
oh my
spun out, went through our little crossing arm, through the box that like houses all the equipment of the crossing arm, totals the car, and then took off running in the dark. So we got a call at like midnight, being like, "Hey, you guys work for the railroad, right? Your crossing arm and everything else is like completely destroyed." And
oh my gosh.
and the person's claiming their car was stolen. so you guys might have to pay for all of it. And I'm like, oh,
I mean, if they don't catch the guy, there's no way of proving it, I guess.
The highway patrolman was nice enough to let me know the inside scoop, which is that the car is super, super new, and they think the person that's driving it, at least the one they got a hold of, is a super young kid. You know, he's like 17 or 18, and who's claiming like, I don't know who did it. My car must have been stolen. And he's like, okay, well, there's dash cams on all those new cars, so we'll have a video shortly, you know, from the dealership that'll let us know who was driving. So just letting you know, we can put it down as stolen right now. But if it ends up being you and the car driving, then that's a major felony charge. And since you're just now of age, that would, you know, land you in prison immediately.
They have dash cams that look at the person?
They don't. But the kid believes that they do. So they think that they're getting...
Technically, aren't they not allowed to do that, though?
I don't know. And I just said it on a podcast, so there you go.
Smart, law enforcement move by the cop. The kid probably was like, oh, never mind, I did it.
Dude, I would probably fall for that so easily. I'm so gullible. You can tell me anything.
Because I've had, like, in the past, I had a friend... they said they weren't drinking and driving. They had drank, but they weren't drunk, you know, and driving. And they, like, definitely hit some cars. And then left the scene, ran away, said the car got stolen, and they got away with it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wait, they weren't drunk, but they hit some cars?
Yeah, it said they were messing with their radio, and then just like sideswiped two cars.
They were drunk.
Or, never mind, I won't say any names, but there's some drivers bad enough that they just sideswipe cars being totally dead sober.
Yeah, it's true.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So you had some animal news too, right?
Yeah, animal news. Oh my gosh.
I have a little bit of animal news too, actually.
I'm so sad about that.
Let's bring it up. This new animal news is a little bit.
So this is weird, funny animal news.
That's better.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's kind of sad too.
This man wore giant penguin. Talking about penguins again. This man wore giant penguin shoes and stomped around beaches in Florida at night for 10 years to leave giant footprints there.
It's so good. First off, where do you buy giant penguin feet?
He made them.
Good man.
Amazon has everything.
Oh
but
my
it just
god.
Left giant penguin.
Oh, so they're big too.
They're so rad. It looks like a dinosaur feet almost. It's so big.
So it would have been. The footprints led people and scientists to believe that a 15-foot tall penguin was roaming their land.
Yes.
Yeah, and he kept up the prank for 10 years, visiting various beaches around Florida. But the hoax wasn't revealed until 40 years later.
Wow.
Wait, so he did it for 10 years and then just bailed on the scene.
Yeah.
And then let people know, like when they're cleaning out his attic as an old man, he's like, "Oh yeah, those are my penguin feet. Yeah, I used to do this funny thing."
He probably bought them because it was easier to walk on the sand, all that surface area.
Oh my god!
Exactly.
He's like, I was just too tired walking all the way down to the beach every day, so I just put on these big old flippers.
I don't think like the beach cams, because I know they have them on the East Coast too. They probably don't do night vision, I would guess.
I don't know why they'd have to.
I mean, people doing illegal stuff, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But isn't that what beaches are for?
To be a penguin.
Yeah, kind of.
Like to safely do illegal stuff without other people around, without burning
except
anything.
for 4th of July. That's the only time they crack down.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, at least here.
Well, yeah, because we got trees.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I mean, not on the
houses.
Yeah, houses more so than trees on the beach.
See, that was delightful. That was a nice change of pace
Yeah.
from you know.
I know.
I got
wild and free.
I got something to bring it back down.
Okay, yeah, let's roller coaster ride.
There's a bunch of studies right now showing that wildlife are being affected from people publicly urinating outside at festivals.
I have that article.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Saved.
Wait,
it's rare eels could be harmed by drug traces from people's wee at Glastonbury Festival because there's so much Molly and Coke in the pee. They're not using the restrooms. They're just peeing out in nature. It's getting in the streams and affecting the rare eels.
See, just like those salmon that were addicted to methamphetamine. Yeah. Now we have eels that are addicted to Molly and Coke.
Yeah.
They're party eels.
Mm-hmm.
They're electric feel eels now.
Yeah. They start calling them candy eels.
Give me some of that electric feel.
Yeah.
The electric feel eel.
Yeah, it affected the population there. And the cocaine concentration was 40 times higher downstream. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Where is this? Where is it located?
Glastonbury.
It's London, right? Or it's England.
England.
They just call everything in England London.
Everything's
Yeah.
London.
London adjacent.
Where is it? Belgium? Yeah, London.
London adjacent.
It's a huge
East
festival,
London.
you know, on a farmland. So
Yeah, okay.
like outside.
So there's a lot of water. Going,
Well, there's clearly
around,
a river with eels in it, huh?
okay, well I have something
or a
happier.
creek going to a river, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
You have some happy news?
happier animal news.
Okay. We went down and then up and then
Yeah,
down
now
and
we're
we go
up
back up
again.
again.
It's like a spin class right now.
Yeah.
The president, South Korea's president, is suggesting a ban on eating dog meat.
But that would be good.
That's probably good.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they're not like farming dogs out there, right?
I mean, I bet you they are, definitely, because it's a food source, but it doesn't have to be a food source is the thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they
They're
have
saying that
other
1
options.
million dogs are eaten annually.
Wow. Mm-hmm. It's not a big.
That's a lower number than I would have expected,
yeah,
though.
but it's not a big. South Korea's not a big place.
And so
I don't know what the
he's
population density
considering
is.
this because he like loves his pet dogs. And so
Considering
yeah, he's
keyword considering.
considering this.
So you gotta think of it. He's like, dog is pretty tasty, but I'll think about it. Well, I mean, yeah, they're probably doing
What kind of dog does he have? Does it say?
So
small,
he's
probably
saying
little dogs.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Those
I'm
ones would be-
imagining a little like
It's
Maltese
big-
poo or something.
no, it's big white dogs.
Oh,
big white
wow,
dog.
Yeah.
like Pyrenees or something.
I don't know. So yeah, it says South Korea's animal protection law is intended mainly to prevent this cruel slaughter of dogs and cats, but does not ban consumption itself. So it's like
Humanely kill the
humanely
dogs.
kill the dogs.
Well, like
it-
we humanely kill pigs and
cows and
we
stuff.
don't do it humanely for the most part.
We don't do it at all. It's really, really
Well, it's
bad.
all about speed, not really humane. It's about how fast they die.
Yeah.
usually. It's like, oh, we can shock them and they feel nothing. They die immediately.
Yeah. Factory farming. Oh my god.
So
I'm gonna
that didn't
cry
go
again
up.
if we
That
talk
just went
about
back
it.
down
Yeah,
again.
really depressing.
We're just getting
episode so
down
far.
and down and down.
Yeah.
Well, with all this down news, why don't we just go straight into some Kinder news, huh?
Sounds good.
Oh, we have some Kinder news. One of our friends is engaged.
Is that Kinder news?
Is that
Yeah.
that's Kinder news?
Kids are getting married.
The kids are
That's
getting
cute.
married.
All right, you know the drill, everybody.
Congratulations, you two special people.
This is like my favorite song out of all the songs we do.
I know the drop is so good.
What about the other song, Twitter Fingers?
Oh, that's on a different podcast.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I think last time in Kinder News we talked a little bit. Well, we didn't talk so much. Is Steve from Blue's Clues talked to us, gave us a little rundown of where he's at and how he remembered us and thanked us. Well, they're just kind of like going off the rails now.
With
So
Steve?
Yeah.
this 25-year anniversary just keeps going, and I'm going to show you the latest thing, or rather, you listeners are going to hear the latest thing that Blue's Clues put out. So brace yourselves, everybody. Here is all three of the supposed brothers from different
Yeah.
eras of Blue's Clues.
I only knew about Joe, the other brother.
Now there's no. Remember, the troll told us about the nice Filipino man who's taken over for Joe.
Oh, and is a brother like a legitimate brother?
I believe he's also a brother of some kind or some sort of relative, maybe a cousin.
Okay.
Anyway, here's what they posted this week. It seems like a weekly thing now that the three of them are getting together to post some stuff. So.
Yo, listen up, here's a story about a little puppy that lives in a
Oh my God, I saw this. I
And
love
all
this.
day and all night she often likes to leave lots of clues all around, inside and outside. She's blue.
Wait, Blue's a girl?
She
Blue
is.
is a girl,
Yeah,
yeah.
Blue is a girl.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, the show's great because it like immediately made us like address some gender normality
Yeah.
things like right away. It'd be like, I can name a dog blue because the color has nothing to do like blue is a boy's color or a girl's
Yeah.
color. It's like blue is a color.
Yeah.
Girl dog can be
Now,
blue.
was magenta a boy?
I don't remember,
I don't remember
Hopefully.
either. Yeah.
but that would be rad. Yeah, go Blue's Clues.
She's blue.
It's super
Cute.
catchy. That.
That's really cute. Well, it's that one song.
Yeah, it's Blue Abba Abba Dow by was it by Abba Abba Dow?
No, it's by.
Eiffel 65.
Oh yeah.
Is who it's by.
It was on Now That's What I Call.
Yeah, now that's
You know?
what I would have called music in,
Yeah.
in 1996 or
I
something.
saw this on Instagram, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, actually, pretty
You
well
mean,
done."
When did you see it? Because Instagram was down for 5.5 hours today.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna say,
that's
so is
last-
Facebook,
like,
so
last
is
night or the night
everything.
Yeah,
before.
Facebook.
Did it ever
everything
come
but
back up?
Twitter. It was WhatsApp. Yeah, it came back up.
Oh,
Which
bummer.
I didn't. I felt so like funny about it because usually I'm on Instagram a lot, and today I didn't even know Instagram was down. Like Ayla texted me that it was, and it was down for 5.5 hours. I was like, wow, what have I been doing today?
Yeah, I mean, everybody had a chance to, like just look around.
Yeah,
Check out the world outside.
Look out the window.
Yeah, who knew?
That kind of stuff.
Well,
Crazy.
I was doing stuff all day, but I didn't know that.
There's some funny memes about it too, because people are
Yeah.
just posting memes all day,
There's
just being
Squid
like,
Game memes
Facebook
about it.
sounds like that one intern, like a picture of like a toddler, like huge eyes, like
Yeah.
sipping on a sippy cup. Or one guy went on, I think one guy went on Twitter and he's like, "Oh, finally, all you people who are just stuck on the internet all day, just arguing with each other, finally have to take a deep breath and look around." Like, says Sam from Twitter. It was the internet's a funny place.
Yeah,
So I'm digging
I
it.
saw a good one with Tyrone Biggums, Dave Chappelle's character from Chappelle's Show, the crackhead, and it shows him like scratching. He's
Yeah.
like, "You got any Instagram? You got any stories for me?" It's pretty good.
Oh, so
Funny thing,
good.
the Blues Clues guys, though, since they did that first video, Steve's video, I'm seeing commercials.
Oh, they're
now,
blowing up.
Like Blues Clues toys, all types of shit. Like,
Yeah.
all
Wow,
kinds
that's
of ads.
fast.
Blue's
Yeah.
trending, man. 25-year anniversary.
That's so fast.
Yeah, like the people watching the show, kids.
Well, and this
adults
is
maybe.
the third time we've brought up Blue's Clues on this podcast, so
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
It's part of the conversation
Yeah,
now.
their viewership has gone up 35% already.
Boom.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
Love it. Love
So,
it.
speaking of Kinder News, you ready for the next big thing? Mm-hmm. A group of engineering students from Purdue University report that its licking machine, modeled after a human tongue, can finally figure out the amount of licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
Oh
Wow,
my
I
gosh,
really thought that was going in a different direction, and I was like, why
This is
is
Kinder
Kinder News?
Yeah, they might go in a different
Yeah.
So
direction.
you remember the owl,
Yeah.
the little boy with the owl who goes up and
So how
says,
many licks was it?
they said on average, because each time is slightly different.
Oh wait.
Let's guess.
Do you want to guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think guessing is
Because
good.
I've like read into this a little bit when I was in elementary school.
And I have not. So.
I feel like we've tried when we were a child too.
What was it? It was like a lick a day for a year or something like that. Like a
So
lick a day.
365.
Yeah, a lick a day
Yeah.
Okay.
was
But-
what like some studies we read about said.
Okay.
Or 2 licks a day, a lick a day, 2 licks a day, something like that. My
Okay.
memory's
I'm
very
gonna
fuzzy.
Guess 321.
Okay. Ost was pretty dead on with 364 is what they said. 364 licks on average after this licking machine licked this thing. I mean, I guarantee somebody took this licking machine home. There's
Yeah,
no way
I
that
know.
they're like, we're going to make this for the Tootsie Pop thing.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell.
Looking back at the study that I looked at about that is really gross. A lick a day for a year. Who keeps a Tootsie Pop out for a year? And
Well,
licks
it doesn't
once a
have to
day?
be
Well, I think
for a year.
they're
It's
just saying that's the
365.
average.
But, yeah.
I mean, it depends on the
Owls, on the other hand, can do it in 3.
Yes.
Yes, we learned that immediately.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I've got more Kinder News. You want to keep it rolling?
Yeah, keep
Yeah.
going for now.
So, do you guys remember the fancy lad of berries and cream Starburst that came around in like the mid to late 2000s?
Fancy lad?
Fancy lad? Did you remember? Okay, back up even further. In 2007, I believe it was, they announced a new line of Starburst that was like a limited edition Starburst that was berries and cream flavored.
I've never heard of that.
I don't remember that.
Okay, well, you would have been in high school.
I was a teen.
You and I were just starting college, and they released berries and cream Starburst. And it kind of like lived and died on its own, but they had some funny commercials. I have one lined up for you. The first commercial Starburst ever put out was the fancy lad, and he loves berries and cream and taught us the little lad, not the fancy lad. And he taught us the little lad dance.
Okay.
So I'm going to teach.
I'm really curious if it's going to like trigger some
It
memory
might.
in the back of my head.
So it's come back. So this is interesting news so here's the original commercial from 2007, April 28th, 2007. All right, here we go.
When I was a little lad, if I wanted berries and cream, Mummy made me do the little lad dance. Now Mummy's gone. But I still like to do the little lad dance, and you might too. You just Run in place. Nice form. Clap your hands. Wee!
Is he supposed to look like the
When
blue
it
boy?
all goes together,
Like the which one?
The blue boy?
it looks a little something
He looks like Lord
this.
Farquaad.
Probably,
From Shrek.
yeah.
I look like Lord Farquaad.
Oh,
You look wonderful.
this is a horrible commercial.
Now, sing the berries and
It was
cream
the
song.
worst.
Berries and cream, berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream. Up the octave.
Oh, similar,
Go for
yeah.
it.
yeah.
Berries and cream, berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream.
I feel like this dance is gonna
Easy
take off
peasy.
That's where we're headed next.
Nice and easy.
So the kids these days got a hold of this, right? And it turns out one of the McElroy brothers actually uploaded the music that he found, the berries and cream thing, to TikTok that could be downloaded and used. And the young tweens have gone ballistic over this. And now if you go on TikTok and look, there's like 1 million different people doing berries and cream TikTok
gosh.
dances.
So, are they gonna bring it back?
I
So
mean, it's
Starburst,
back, apparently.
Starburst saw this explode and decided nearly 14 years later that with their sudden culture explosion, they decided, since Halloween's coming up, they would create the Little Lad costume for Halloween, TM by Starburst, to put out. That includes the Little Lad bobbed wig, oversized jacket, collars, cuff, pantaloons, socks to match.
I mean, I have this
It's
outfit and haircut.
It's a Lord Farquaad outfit,
Pretty much.
basically, yeah.
But they're only making so many of them, and they're requiring you to go on TikTok and do your best berries and cream performance, tagging Starburst Little Lad, #sweepstakes.
How can they require you?
Wait, and well, are they gonna give away these costumes?
Yes, whoever wins gets a Little Lad costume. Yeah. So they've decided that they're doing official limited release of Starburst Little Lad costumes to the best berries and cream dancers on TikTok.
Do we know? Is there like a grand prize for the best
I don't. It does not say
Little Lad?
It's just that they're
No.
Janine,
maybe you get to meet maybe you get to meet
Try?
maybe you get to meet the Little Lad, who I guess is an actual like famous musician and producer who really hated that commercial and didn't want to be known as the Little Lad guy, and now it's just come back and that's like all he ever hears again.
Oh, no.
It's like, oh, you're the Little Lad guy.
I mean, but he's 14 years older than he is now. He's
Yeah.
gotta look different.
well, he was already a man when he did that.
No. He kept that haircut too.
Yeah, well, he kept everything. Why wouldn't you?
It looks
Janine,
like,
I think you could win because you'd have the outfit.
yeah, I have the outfit. I have the haircut.
I think you should
And
just
people
do
would
it.
think that you cut your hair like that. Sweepstakes. They would definitely send you a costume. Then you'd have two. But you could order a little one, and then I could be the Little Lad, and you could be the Big Lad.
I don't want that title, but
The Tall Lad?
sure,
Yeah,
that's
there we
better.
go. Yeah.
The Lad.
I could be Lad and you could be Little Lad.
There we go. That sounds better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could have matching.
That was I had one more just thought. It's not so much part of Kinder News as just a thought, which I think we've talked about before, but I want to bring into action before next week's podcast. So we heard about Bristol Elementary School sending letters to Jeff Goldblum and him actually responding to them. So I was thinking, our sister is the librarian for an elementary school.
Yeah.
And has a bunch of classes do little projects and things all the time. So I thought if the Big Brothers, with their big famous podcast, send them little things where they can draw a picture of a dinosaur, and then it has like a pre-written little note that they write their name and sign in crayon at the bottom that says, "My favorite librarian's brothers really want to talk to you. Would you please just go ahead and call them?" And leave our info.
They all have to write that verbatim.
No, I have it written already with a picture where they can draw a dinosaur.
Hi,
and then
my
a
name
place
is
to write their
Kyle.
name and sign. So it's like those letters you send out like to Congress men and women, you know, and you're like, you want some change. But we just spam an entire school to create these adorable little hand-drawn things that we mail to Jeff Goldblum's people.
And then we do the podcast in the library at the school.
Yeah.
With the kids.
With the kids and Jeff
But we have-
Goldblum.
With Jeff.
Whisper the whole time because we're in the library.
And I'm going to need a lot of microphones for all those kids. We'll have them come up one at a time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no. You can just be in the background and yell all at once.
Yeah. You can just say, "Hi, Jeff."
Everybody say hi, Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
You know, like those kids too. It's gonna be like we're gonna have to call him like Jurassic Park Jeff.
Yeah. It was Ian Malcolm. They'll know. They're 5th graders, 4th graders.
She's
Jurassic World's out. All the kids at Roaring Camp right now, when they see our train, it's yellow and green.
Are 4th and 5th graders still writing in crayon?
I hope so.
I write in crayon.
I hope so.
I think they upgraded to Ticonderoga number 2 pencils.
I mean, I think crayon is a lost art we should bring back.
I mean, it's not lost.
I think everything should be done in
It's
crayon.
not lost,
just
it's
underrated.
just younger.
It's more environmentally friendly to stick with crayon too. It's wax.
Is it?
Yeah,
More so than like a colored pencil?
for sure.
Well, I mean, trees, colored pencils.
Yeah, wax is better.
What about graphite? Is that bad?
Graphite's bad.
Is it?
Yeah, worse than aluminum.
Really? You're just on an
What about
aluminum
like
kick,
paint program on the computer?
Even worse, because
The
that's
computer.
microchips. Then we need China.
The computer.
That's why it was
You know?
such.
The
That's
computer.
inflation. That's all coming because of China. You don't. The computers
Okay,
aren't the
speaking of
win.
Jurassic Park, can I share some dinosaur news?
Yeah, please. And then we're gonna take a short little break.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny is the only time I use a computer, I think, is to like print my resume
The
and
computer.
work on it. The computer. Like I barely ever use a computer.
Okay, you guys, this is exciting. Do, 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 do.
It's a Jurassic Park theme song.
Has Austin seen Jurassic Park?
That's Zelda.
Yeah, of
Austin.
course. Yeah, it was Zelda. Yeah, but that's exciting treasure chest open.
No, we're doing Jurassic Park because I'm talking about dinosaurs.
Oh,
It's supposed to go like, oh my god, a T-Rex.
Okay. Okay. 2 new species of dinosaur discovered from Isle of Wight fossils.
Yes,
Yeah.
2 more.
where's the Isle of Wight?
I don't know. Somebody look it up. Okay.
I'm looking.
It's the horned crocodile-faced hell heron.
Whoa!
Is one of the 2 exciting new species of dinosaurs.
Horned
to have been
crocodile-faced
unearthed
hell
off the coast
heron?
of England. It's off the coast.
Okay,
of
off the
England.
coast of England. There you go.
Yeah. Horned crocodile-faced hell heron.
Fuck yeah, what a name.
And it's found on the Isle of Wight. The 125 million year old predator, officially named Ceratops.
Sarah Two Shops? It sounds like an Etsy store.
Ceratops Inferodios. I had to read that with one
Nailed
eye.
it.
It looks like
Had
it
a
looks like a
9
small T-Rex with a long snout.
It had a 9-meter long body. So that's pretty big.
36 feet.
Yeah, 9-meter long body, powerful claws, gigantic skull covered in horns and bumps, and a long crocodile-like teeth. The fearsome creature lived on the fringes of ancient floodplains where it would have lain in wait for aquatic prey, research suggests. Scientists say the discovery, along with the skeleton of a second species at the same site, offers unique insights into how the Spinosauridae family of dinosaurs made the transition from land-dwelling to semi-aquatic predators over a period of tens of millions of years.
Oh wow, their like depiction of it. That was the wrong thing I showed you, Ty. It's like that.
Let me see.
Whoa, it's a
Pretty crazy looking.
it looks like like a bird of
God.
paradise
As an
and
animal.
and a gecko had a baby.
Yeah, with a heron's body.
Yeah, it's
giant.
wild looking.
Okay, they had crocodile-like teeth, which are good for catching slippery fish. Means we suspect they were standing in the water or using their jaws to hunt. Another possibility is that the dinosaurs would have waded semi-submerged like a crocodile or use their large claws to hook fish out of the water like a bear.
Wow.
So it's just terrifying.
A crocodile bear.
Yeah.
So it's a flying crocodile bear.
Yeah. Flying, swimming crocodile bear.
Dude.
Wow.
That's like if ducks got vicious. Okay, you said there's 2. There's a second one?
It doesn't talk about it in the article.
Well, the second one's just not as interesting.
You're like, nah, we'll leave you with that one.
I'm
It's
like, this
terrifying.
one's good
Did you
enough.
guys hear the news too that it turns out, you know our idea that like Pangea, right? Mm-hmm. Where it was all connected. Most people lived in Africa around this time and then moved around to other places in the world. Well, our timeline was off by almost 37 million years. They just found
really?
out. They found that people were in North America 37 million years before we thought. And they found the proof in, check this out, there's like way up north, closer to, I don't even know where, some desert region up north in America. They found there's this famous national park that has these sands that move all the time, and underneath the sands they found prints, like human prints from way back in the day, and gigantic animal prints. And
Penguin
they found
prints?
it could be this dude.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
this
There could have been some 37 million years ago, like a troll dude, a caveman dude, you know, he's just trolling people. He's just like, you know, be really funny. Walking around. But anyway, they found like actual, I guess they like studied it and checked it out and found actual proof that humans lived, and they found bones and they found everything,
Whoa.
and actually found out that there are tribes of human beings 37 million years earlier than we thought in North America, which changes the entire idea
Yeah.
of the time frame of human life and how it moved around.
So that puts
Yeah.
humans with dinosaurs.
Not quite.
Not quite. How dinosaurs are how long ago?
75 million years.
Something like that. But closer.
Closer. Because what
Closer.
was the thought before?
The idea is that Disney gets crudes as close as possible to a true timeline, and then they'll do a Marvel movie about it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's Tyler's wish.
Yeah.
Well, because Disney owns the scientists now. That was just a recent buyout.
They bought one scientist.
They own all
No,
the
they bought them all.
scientists.
They bought science.
Oh, they bought science.
Disney just owns science now.
Science Plus TV.
Yeah.
And on that note, let's take a break.
Yeah, let's take a break, guys. That was great.
That's great.
Well, it was lots of ups and downs, but
Well, yeah, I cried.
It wasn't
I
all-
literally
it wasn't all
cried.
great, but it was all great news.
there was a lot of news. Yeah. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Podcast.
Ooh, spooky podcast.
Creation tools.
It's free.
It will give you money. I am not evil. I just sound strange.
It will distribute everything for you.
Spotify, Anchor,
Apple.
Pocket Cast,
Google Podcast.
my hand.
Anchor down if I'm get your anchor stuff on.
Go to Anchor.
I'm so sorry, Anchor. Okay, we're back. And, I have a top story tonight that I wanted to talk about. Let me give you some top story music. 1 second here.
Ooh.
Tonight, top story for featuring Jeff Goldblum. I was just like absentmindedly going through Facebook, as you do, you know, just scrolling through random people you sort of know or know well or whatever, and just see what they're saying. And one dude, one of my friends on Facebook who I've known for a while, like posted this thing about Sinbad's Genie movie, Kazam.
Oh yeah, I am Kazam. Yeah,
I've never seen it.
he's like a DJ rapper.
Oh, sorry,
Genie.
Shazam.
Shazam.
Yeah, that's what
Shazam,
I was like,
yeah.
isn't it called Shazam?
So here's the interesting thing. That movie doesn't exist.
What?
What?
That movie doesn't exist. And he was talking about it, and he's like, well, I remember this movie perfectly. I remember the genie. Sinbad plays a genie. There's two young white kids.
He makes it rain hamburgers.
Yeah, there's a pool party in it randomly and all this stuff. Anyway, that movie doesn't exist. There's a movie called Kazam with Shaq that came out in 1996.
That's what I'm thinking of.
But everybody in the 90s, a bunch of like millions of people remember this movie Shazam with Sinbad, and they remember Sinbad specifically being a genie
He was.
in this movie.
Wait, really?
And they remember a doll that he brought back, and they remember the scene ending with a pool party, and they remember so much about this movie that never actually happened. And he claims, and it's hard to say because who knows? Like, the internet's been scrubbed before, It's a crazy world out there. But he claims that he has seen this movie about 11 times. He remembers all this stuff about the movie. He remembers things that happened in it. He remembers it as this childhood icon, but you cannot find a VHS of it. You can't find it anywhere. People have made fake posters of it. Even Funny or Die in 2007 created a fake video using Sinbad, who acted in it as a joke for April Fool's Day, where they showed a clip that looks like it's on VHS and clipping out, in which they brought up a bunch of other things. But this comes to the bigger point that there's a thing called the Mandela effect, where quite literally people like, and not just one person, but like many people associate false memories with the thing and have vivid memories of it. And they're not like faking. They're not pretending. Like, they create in their own mind these very vivid memories of a false idea. And people don't know where it started. And the reason it's called the Mandela effect is because Nelson Mandela, a lot of people thought that he died in prison in the 80s.
Yeah, a lot of people.
He became president of South Africa in the 90s.
Yeah.
And didn't die. But like for the longest time when he became president, people were like, that can't be Nelson Mandela because he died in prison.
Yeah.
And so this term was coined by actually a person who thought that Nelson Mandela had died and was positive of it. So paranormal researcher Fiona Broom remembered him dying in the 80s, remembered it distinctly, and then suddenly in 2013, he's out, he's president. I had the 90s, but it was later. And actually, even the X-Files ended up doing a episode specifically about the Mandela effect, which I have a clip for you, of course, where Scully remembers Goop-O ABC, not Jello 1, 2, 3, as her childhood memory. So quickly, I'll give you, which then Mulder will explain to us in deeper, the Mandela effect. Here we are from the X-Files.
Let me get this straight. When it cools, it forms into 3 different layers with 3 different textures, all from the same mix? How has this never been an X-File?
I have such wonderful memories associated with it. I remember my mom making it. I remember family vacations over the summer holidays and 4th of July, fireworks, America, God, love.
That's some Jell-O.
I mean, just the cherry flavor, the lemon lime tastes like leprechaun taint. But I have literally been looking for this for decades. But every time I look for Goop-O ABC, everyone says, no, you must be thinking about Jello 1, 2, 3.
It's the Mandela effect.
What do you mean?
When someone has a memory of something that's not shared by the majority or the factual record. For instance, there are some people that have a memory of seeing a movie called Shazam, starring Sinbad as an irrepressible genie. Even after it's pointed out to them, they're probably thinking a movie called Kazam, starring Shaquille O'Neal as an irrepressible genie, especially because a movie called Shazam was never made.
But what if I don't remember either movie?
You win!
But Mulder, isn't your false Twilight Zone memory also a Mandela effect?
No, because my false memory is real.
But again, how is
Okay,
this
I have a comment.
mystery guy whose fingerprints came up?
Okay, go for it.
Is this just racism?
I mean, so some people have brought that up.
Shazam and Kazam.
And that has
Two
come up
black
quite a
actors,
bit.
2 bald black actors.
But the funny thing is, it doesn't stop there. There's a lot of stuff, especially in the 90s, which people started sending me, because I started to dig into this, right? Because at first I was like, you guys are mixing up Shaquille O'Neal and Sinbad.
Yeah.
And that's sort of rude. But they don't look that much alike at all.
No, I mean, Sinbad's much lighter skinned.
No, but white people mix up black people all the
Right.
time, and they could not even look anything alike.
So check it out. This happened a ton in the 90s, and even something that later Funny or Die touched on was that 90s specifically have a ton of these. Berenstain Bears, for instance. Do you remember the Berenstain Bears?
Yeah.
No, you don't. They're the Berenstain Bears. They've always been the Berenstain Bears. It's spelled differently. People pulled the books off their shelves to be like, you're wrong. And no, it's not spelled how I always thought it was spelled too. Berenstein.
I thought it changed over time from Berenstain to
No,
Berenstain.
and I have an article from the son of the writers, because they've now passed on, to say, no, we've always been Berenstain. This has been going
How
on
do they spell the last part?
Stain.
like stain on your couch instead of
And that's how it's been
Stein,
pronounced,
Steen.
and that's how it's always said. But
Okay, but I have a request. I don't want you to explain this to me anymore. I just want Mulder to explain it
yeah,
to
I
me.
wish I had more from him. But they start to go into this weird parallel universe
Oh,
thing
yeah,
next.
of course they did.
So Mulder's
what
theory,
episode is this? I want to watch it.
it's from the newer seasons.
Oh.
It's episode 4 called Forehead Sweat.
Okay, good.
forehead sweat.
Got
Yeah,
it.
for all those, you want to look it up. But he starts to go into the idea that there's parallel universes where everyone is correct in their own. You know, there was a Berenstain Bears, there was a
That makes
Berenstain
sense,
Bears.
though, about the Kazam Shazam mix-up, because Shaquille O'Neal actually like DJs and does stuff like that, and Kazam in the movie did that. He was like a DJ
Right.
rapper genie.
But these false memory things are like a thing. Like, honestly, I remembered that like 10 episodes ago, and Austin corrected me. I said Jiffy was the peanut butter. And Austin said, no, it's Jif. I'm like, well, they must have shortened it later. And no, they didn't. But I clearly remember it being Jiffy, and I remember there being a little catchy song about Jiffy peanut butter, but Jiffy never existed. It was Jif. Curious George never had a tail. There's a zillion people who were like,
No,
Curious
he didn't
George.
have a tail because he's a chimpanzee.
Right, but there's like a million people that distinctly remember Curious George having a tail, or Kit Kat having a dash in the middle on the candy bar, or the Monopoly guy having a monocle, which he never did.
Or Looney Tunes, like music, versus Looney Tunes, like cartoons. That's another big one.
Yeah, I mean, and these people like get it in their mind, and then now that the internet exists, this is like exploded because someone will post a thing about something they remember and create this false idea, which then spreads and becomes like a cultural phenomenon. And in the 90s, because, and this is just my theory, but because we're the age that like grew into the internet first existing and having so much access to one another all of a sudden, and AIM and all these things we can talk to each other on, these false ideas like exploded.
But it's not just the 90s. It's right now because of just...
It's still continuing, yeah.
Yeah, it's right now, not just because it's memories, but because it's bad information being passed on social media and everybody taking it as truth. It's the same thing.
To a degree.
Yeah.
The only difference being that the Mandela effect specifically refers to a vivid memory you have that when like noted in your brain and looked at, you're not like believing a conspiracy theory or something as truth that you don't know about. You're vividly remembering your own childhood moments as Scully did. Remembering eating this jello, remember mom making this jello, remembering this jello in parts of your life that you experienced already.
Yeah,
Just
no,
like my
I see
friend
that it's-
on Facebook, like knowing that he had it. And there's actually a guy that owned a video store. It's like, I had tons of copies of that movie. I remember having tons of copies of that movie, and now I'm going through my storage sheds and there's none there.
So are you talking about what's relevant here is that it's a collective memory?
What's become relevant, yes, is that it's like,
Because it's not that's what the Mandela effect is. It's not an individual, it's the collective.
the Mandela effect can be individual, but yes, in the shared, a infactual record shared by a majority is what has been interesting and became most famous because of this Shazam Kazam thing. Because some person on like the internet early on, when Marvel started doing movies after Howard the Duck, you know, was like, they should have like the comic book character Shazam work with the Genie Sinbad Shazam on a thing. And everyone's like, oh yeah, I love that. I remember that. And like, are you thinking of Kazam? And then it started this big fight. And then everybody like started sending in like full transcripts of what they thought was Shazam, which was different than Kazam.
Did Marvel...
Like different scenes, different actors.
Did Marvel make the new Shazam? Because there's a movie Shazam now.
Yeah, the new one's, I believe it's Marvel.
Is it Marvel?
I'll look it up.
But that is based on an actual comic book character.
Yeah. That is totally different.
Not a genie.
Totally different. Yeah, he's more like
He's a god.
he's like a lazy Superman.
Yeah, he's like a godlike character and a child at the same time.
Yeah.
It's great.
Is it Marvel?
We have a new segment called "Is It Marvel?" where we just look up things and see if they're Marvel or not.
Well, there's another Shazam coming out in 2023.
Good, the sequel.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway, I thought that was super interesting.
That even racked my brain a little bit because like when you said Sinbad as a genie, I was like, I think I remember him being a genie.
Yeah, and that's so like I was saying.
And when I racked my brain more, I was like, no, it's definitely Shaq.
Well, that's as I started to research this further, right? And like going through the different, like, because people are posting this all over the place. It's been a debate for a long time, but people started posting stuff from like military academies and things where they're like suggestively putting things into television and into audio that they're having like soldiers listen to that makes them create fake memories, which is where the X-File later goes, you know, to be like, they're like inserting suggestions into your brain to make you believe things exist that aren't true in order to like sell a product to you or like get you to be pro or anti-war or completely
subliminal messaging.
Yeah, but taken to such an extreme degree that it's just like eaten up by the mass as the truth. Like Trump should be president.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
Which
That's what I'm
Simpsons
saying.
warned
It's
us
the
about.
It's the same thing.
They've warned us about a lot of
Yeah,
a lot of
Simpsons
things.
warned us in like the early 90s that Trump was going to be president. It was going to be bad.
Oh, God.
The end of the world. Anyway, I got one more top story if you're up for it.
I'm up for it.
Okay.
2 top stories?
2 top stories tonight. Are you ready?
How does that work?
Well, it's like our little news hour real quick, you know?
Yeah, but how'd they both get to the top?
Because I couldn't decide.
Oh, okay.
Never mind. Just laughing about us.
So
Laughing about us.
the other top story tonight is about natural flavors. So
Like candy corn.
just like candy corn.
Like LaCroix.
So what businesses started to realize is that artificial flavors were not popular, not because they didn't taste good, and not because of any other reason than that word artificial. People don't like artificial things being put in their body. It's a natural response, right? So they decided to start using natural flavors, and they just started writing natural flavors, right? So some journalists started to dive a little bit deeper into what those natural flavors are. How do they get the flavors they're trying to get, and what exactly
Yeah.
is it?
Isn't raspberry like beaver butthole secretion or something?
Beaver anal secretions
Yeah.
is vanilla. Yep. So anyway,
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
You
I mean,
haven't heard about
they
this?
use actual vanilla flavoring though.
Yeah,
But if it has certain parts per million of anal
and
secretion,
I brought
then
up candy corn because one of the ingredients in candy corn apparently is some sort of insect secretion.
yeah,
And
absolutely true. See, you're on it.
is it accidental though, or is it?
No,
it's on purpose.
it's so the only way they
Yeah.
could get this similar taste, like artificially, we can make vanilla very easy in a lab, right? But to make vanilla for real, make something taste like vanilla using all natural ingredients, we assume like natural is like a byproduct word for good, right?
You know,
No,
like vanilla
natural
bean,
just means
maybe?
naturally found in nature. So guess what's found in nature? Anal glands on beavers. And guess what? If they can break down that anal gland juice and excrete it into something, they can make it taste like vanilla.
Hold on. There's way too many of these products that taste like vanilla though, and there's not enough beavers for them to be just.
They just need a tiny bit.
I mean, maybe there are
It's
enough
like concentrate.
beavers.
Yeah, it's a concentrate.
Yeah, it basically is a concentrate.
Like one drainage of an anal gland will do a batch of 100,000. That's so gross. I drain my dog's anal glands.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you more.
It's disgusting.
Do you want some?
Smells like diarrhea and Indian food.
I'll lead you.
fish.
That's rude about Indian food. I love Indian
I love
No, I'm
Indian
just saying
food
like
too.
it has that like kind of curry smell to it.
Oh, God. Okay.
But so people have known this for a long time, right? Because up till the end of the 19th century, beavers were nearly hunted to extinction specifically
The Beaver
for
Wars, yeah.
specifically for that vanilla excretion.
Oh, really? I thought it was their fur.
Well, that was earlier.
Yeah, okay.
That was
What?
1800s.
So
Yeah, okay, you're
for
right.
what? Like because they were selling it to companies who wanted that for the vanilla.
They found out that they could extract this from the anal gland and create this taste that they were using in all sorts of foods, right? Not telling people it came from an anal gland of a
Yeah.
beaver because they wouldn't want to eat it all of a sudden, right? So fortunately, a German chemist was the one responsible for finding that they could basically, vanillin is a chemical, tastes like vanilla that can be extracted from the beaver. So Germans started this craze, which then went on to hunting beavers for this, what they could create to make vanilla ice cream, vanilla candy, vanilla what have you, right?
That is so gross.
I'm surprised you didn't know this.
That is
I heard
so
about it
gross.
So-
many years ago.
Nowadays,
Oh my gosh.
synthetic vanillin, which is that extract they get from beavers, synthetic vanillin, which doesn't come from beavers, is 94% of vanilla flavorings used in the food industry. But if you see natural flavors used for something vanilla, beaver anal.
Love it.
But I mean, if it's synthetic, it's not.
No,
And
I'm
they
saying
have to say-
94% is now. So that would say
So it'd say
artificial flavors.
Yeah.
But if it's a natural flavor, it's
go for that
beaver anal.
artificial.
Well, so would that technically be organic?
It could be.
It is.
Yeah.
So organic vanilla probably uses.
So another natural
Vanillin.
ingredient that is used all of the time.
That makes me rethink eating organic foods completely.
So another natural ingredient that's used to create all sorts of different things and ice creams and other things is retch, which is the mucous membrane of the fourth stomach of young calves, lambs, and goats. It's what separates milk to be curds or yogurts or other things in the manufacturing process, and it's key to that manufacturing process. So
Like,
it's a natural mold, basically.
Like, what's that stuff you used to make cheese? Rennet?
Yeah.
Yeah, rennet. That's exactly what rennet is. It's retch.
It's from Wretch.
It's from retch. It is retch.
It is
Gotcha.
Wretch.
Yeah.
Rennet is another word for retch.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I've made mozzarella before and we had to buy rennet.
So you mentioned the insects too. So they do, in fact, use, basic foodstuffs, not grown in sterile conditions, which is the majority of what we end up eating now.
I'm still thinking about this beaver
Right?
gland thing. It's like
Okay, what about the bugs?
So, cornmeal, things like that, that we get in, mass amounts. They get out to make cereals and things like that. Almost always have up to 5 whole insects in them, 10 insect fragments, 10 rodent hairs, 5 rodent poop fragments, and all in all, basically in a box of cereal, you get like up to a half-eaten apple of organic bits of insect poop, rodent, etc., that's mixed in during the process because they can't sterilize the conditions in which huge amounts of food is processed like that.
I knew that. Like the parts per million can be low enough of like rat feces, things like that, that they get
but
away
it's
with
saying that it's more than that.
It's more than that.
Yeah.
They're using it.
No, they're not using it, but it's getting in because they can't process it in a way.
Well, that's why they allow
sterilized.
a certain.
No, but
level,
this is
right?
more than what they're allowing.
It's more than what they tell you they allow.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because what
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
shown is that it's not a level that is toxic to your health, so they're not required to tell you it.
Yeah, because I've heard things about like cereals and stuff,
Yeah,
grain
that's what
silos and
yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
Are littered with like feces and
Yeah.
that type of stuff. It's disgusting.
Yep. Well, I mean,
One, I don't know if it's true or not. One I heard about a while ago too, being in foods is opiates or opium.
Yeah, actually, traces of opium are in most poppy seed things, from bagels, etc. They
Yeah.
use actual opium
Yeah.
to do it because they can get a better flavor out of it than
nice.
straight up other things. So that's why they tell you during drug tests and
Yeah.
stuff, like, don't eat a poppy seed
That's where I
bagel
heard it
because
from.
there's actually a chance that you'll show up on a drug test as an opium user because of the trace amounts of opium in each seed.
That's crazy. Wow. Ugh. God.
But you know what? Like, okay, the animal products are grosser to me than the bugs. For
Right.
sure. Because, like, people eat bugs. It's
Oh, in Thailand, it's like a huge
cultural.
thing. Yeah, a lot of Southeast Asia
like,
eats bugs.
Bugs are, protein, fiber, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's the animal stuff that freaks me out.
Yeah, the poo poo pee pee.
Yeah.
That's the grosser stuff. I mean, anal gland vanilla though. Could you imagine you're like in a third world country, like, oh, you want vanilla ice cream? Hold on, squeeze a beaver's ass and
Well, what
mix it
about maybe in a third world country they would use actual vanilla bean.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope so if it can grow there.
Yeah. See, why aren't they using actual vanilla bean? Is it hard to grow vanilla? Is it
Expensive. It's
hard-
probably more expensive.
I
Really
believe it is hard to
expensive.
grow. It only grows in certain
Yeah.
areas, and it doesn't actually produce a lot.
Yeah.
So for the amount of vanilla that we have on Earth, it's easier to squeeze a beaver's anus.
Well, I mean, I
to
know
get
like
it.
anal gland secretion. That's some potent shit.
Or as we said too, like the Germans were squeezing beaver glands at first, and now 94%. So only 6% of vanilla you get. Natural vanilla is either vanilla from the plant or a beaver gland. And I guess you'll just look for vanilla with a little B above it at the end. BA.
Oh.
Beaver anal.
Yeah. No, but is there a way to know?
I don't think they have to disclose it legally.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that means
Almost everyone at this table has definitely at one point or
I
another
for
tasted
sure
beaver anal
have.
gland.
I did just last weekend for
Yeah.
fun
Definitely.
over in Canada
Oh,
without it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what I'm saying. No, but I'm saying this means that you haven't been fully vegetarian.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this in dogs at least. Like the anal, everyone thinks dogs like they're marking their territory by peeing.
No, they're marking what they're rubbing their butts.
No, the anal gland secretion.
Yeah, rubbing their butts on the carpet and stuff.
Well, that's when they have an itch or their elbow
And the
has
other
been
dogs
expressed.
come by, or worms, yeah. But when the other dogs come by, and they're like, vanilla.
No, yeah, I mean that might be why they sniff each other's butts. They're like, oh, I smelled you before. You're over there on 4th and 16th.
Yeah. You're the sherbet guy.
I mean, it is. I mean,
Oh,
trust me,
God.
it's a strong smell.
Yeah, I mean, Natalie comes home smelling like it
And
sometimes.
if a beaver smells like vanilla and it's coming out of there, it must be strong.
Yeah. Well, that's why they need such an itsy bitsy bitsy amount.
Yeah,
We think.
We think.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well,
that was some pretty interesting
you know
top
what I
news.
want? There's some other butt news I have.
Yeah, you got
Oh,
some
yeah?
butt news
Well,
for
I
us?
don't have the facts here, but like, gosh, so many people are dying from Brazilian butt lifts.
Brazilian
There's
butt lift
Oh, like
death?
the
it's-
black market butt lifts.
No, it's the most popular surgery. Oh, like black market, of course,
Mm-hmm.
that's happening too. But it's the most popular surgery on Earth right now.
Is it an injection
I'm
or
not
is
sure.
it like a cut? And
I think they might take fat from other parts of your body.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure exactly the mechanics of it, but
Yeah.
like,
because I've heard of like people going
Lots
to get
of people are
cheap ones.
dying.
Like,
Like-
I'm a surgeon.
yeah.
So here we go from The Guardian. I've got it. A Brazilian butt lift, which is the fastest growing cosmetic surgery in the world and has a mounting number of deaths resulting in the procedure. Let's see what we got, butt surgery.
Yeah. And it's
So,
it's like the fucking Kardashians and other people.
But I mean, if it's, I mean, I guess, people get boob jobs. Like, how can it be that different?
People
you
get
know?
less boob jobs now. They're getting Brazilian butt lifts instead because butts are popular and boobs are not.
why are boobs not popular?
I know you're a boob guy, but like boobs are just not as popular as butts.
I can appreciate them in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
So Jennifer Lopez, Nicki Minaj,
Yeah,
the Kardashians.
Yeah.
So there's no way those things are
Everybody-
real.
Yeah. It's the most popular thing and they're influencing people and they have like, endless amounts of money and they're being protected and they're in safe conditions
So-
and then poor people are getting these surgeries and fucking dying and they don't have any resources to be healthy.
Yeah, in 2017, Mofid published a paper in Aesthetic Surgery Journal, which revealed that 3% of the 692 surgeons they had surveyed had experienced the death of a patient after performing surgery. Overall, 3,000 Brazilian butt lift surgeries resulted in death in their
Yeah.
survey alone.
3,000.
Wow.
In the past 3 years, 3 British women died as a result of complications from what they're calling BBLs.
Yeah, BBL. It is-
UK, Turkey is the most popular destination for Brazilian butt lifts, oddly enough, because their UK patients are seeking cheaper aesthetic surgeries outside of the UK.
Yeah, see? And it's like these ultra wealthy people are promoting this look.
15 women died recently in South Florida alone from BBLs. Why are they dying, though? What is it about this surgery?
I mean, it's got to just be like a not clean room style surgery that's happening. I would guess so. It's getting infections
Or,
and things
yeah,
like that.
infection.
Or they're putting
or-
in things that are cheaper that are the body's reject.
Yeah. But it's tragic, and it talks a lot about diet culture and how that infects everybody's mentality, whether you know it or not. It's affecting everybody and everybody just has to look a certain specific way.
I mean, luckily, there's a lot of trending videos of just doing deep squats with weights to get a better butt.
Yeah, but no, define better, because can't people accept themselves for how they
yeah, they
are?
can. Some
I have a small butt. I will
Some
always
people
have
just
a small
want their
butt.
butt to go outward more.
No
I
matter,
guess.
no matter, and they want their butt to go outward because of diet culture, because of people like the Kardashians.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
That's the look.
Totally. Or,
you know?
or I mean, some of them just do it because they
Because
want.
remember
they
in
want to
the
be
early
strong.
'90s when a small butt was really popular?
I was like one. In
Okay,
the early
in the-
90s, so not really. I mean,
in the early
I guess
90s,
for me,
if you watch
because my butt
movies
was
from
this
back
big.
then, or a really good example right now, remember the show The Girls Next Door about the Playboy Mansion girls?
Yeah.
They
Yep.
all had really small butts and they were Playboy bunnies. and they all had really small butts and
then
big
big
boobs, and
fake
that was
boobs,
and
yeah.
that was the look, and that was
Yeah, it's just
early
changed.
2000s, and it just changed, and diet culture changed it. What's popular changed it, and it's this flip flop, and people are like, oh well, there's more plus size models, etc., and different bodies are being more accepted, but really the standard is a certain, like a B cut breast, and then a tiny fucking waist, even if you're a big girl, and a huge butt.
Oh yeah, I mean you see it. I mean, it's everywhere too. That stupid fucking TikTok trend, the like small waist, pretty face with a big bank, and
Yeah.
they turn around while they jump and their butt jiggles.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
why?
And I mean, that's
why are
been
there so
going
many
on-
of these?
That's been going on everywhere, and it's because sex sells, and it's
Yeah,
because
it's true.
objectifying women's bodies sells, and objectifying women's bodies is the norm, and we're killing them. We're literally killing women because they want to look a certain way for the male gaze.
Well, it's funny too, because as this article goes on, they start to talk about that originally cosmetic surgery in Brazil and other areas was based off a history of eugenics, trying to root out and cure the ugliness of what they considered the black and rainforest dwelling races. And now
Oh my
they're saying
God.
that this is the opposite effect that they're seeing unequivocally is this is now the imitation of perceived features of blackness rather than whiteness, and that the Brazilian butt lift is the trend towards this new thing, the bigger butt, that curvature is now in, and how it is like basically the same eugenics backwards in history
Yeah.
all over again.
So what's next?
Just women dying. That's what's next.
Women dying everywhere.
Just, women are dying because the most deadly.
Both are gonna come back. It's gonna be boobs and butts, and then
the
there's gonna
most
be people
deadly
eating-
mental illness is anorexia.
Yeah, I can see that definitely. Yeah.
And it's just, you have to be ultra thin and have a big butt now. It's fucking awful.
Yeah, I mean, how do you do that?
You starve
Naturally.
yourself and get a Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah, I want to say naturally. I don't think
Naturally,
there's a way.
you don't do it.
Yeah.
Some people are genetically inclined to look a certain way, but most people aren't. Like, you and I look like hobbits.
You
Well, and honestly, as celebrities now, we have a responsibility to stand up against things like BBLs and let people know that their bodies are beautiful the way they are, and the trend that should be heading
Yeah.
forward
Yeah.
is diversity in
well, and look at
in
like
look and body.
the whole dad bod trend coming in.
But dad bods are popular. There's no popularity for mom bods.
That's the problem.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
the
That's what I'm saying. It's like
problem,
for
yeah.
men, the dad bod thing is like, oh, dad bod. Like, guys are the way they are, and that's great.
Yeah,
But for
exactly.
women, it's like, no, you have to be tiny with a giant ass.
Yeah, tiny with a giant ass.
So I guess step one for us is to bring back mom jeans.
Mom jeans are back. Mom jeans have been back, high waisted.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Big time back
Yeah. So
around the belly
but
button.
the difference with mom jeans when they first started and what they are now is
They've
moms
tightened
back
around
then-
the butts.
No, moms back then didn't have any butts to fill out the mom jeans, so it just looked like flat butts, because that's what was accepted, like back in the 90s.
Still
and early
accepted in a
2000s.
lot of up until now, I guess, because nope, I'm
No.
wrong. Because in Europe for a while, like the baggy clothes thing was super. Like when I traveled to Europe in the early 2000s, like a lot of women wore like baggy overalls, baggy jeans. Like it was like a more accepted look out there to have like a cute blouse top, and then the bottoms were
But that
like
doesn't reflect
painter's
what
pants.
the actual shape of their ass is.
No, but that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It's
They
like
weren't-
it wasn't
like a thing.
It wasn't a
Yeah.
thing that was even like looked at. But I guess potentially that was the shift from boobs to butts again, because that was that same era that Playboy. You have the
Yeah.
cute blouse top. As men, we're just so far behind this trend because it doesn't directly affect us, which is a terrible thing to say. But in all honesty, it's like
It does directly affect you because the women around you are dying or sick or eating disordered
no, I
know.
I agree.
Or
but
just depressed.
or depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I mean is like I guess there's a sense of helplessness in being a man in this.
But you guys are the ones calling the shots. You guys are the ones saying what's popular, what's sexy. It's the patriarchy.
It's the patriarchy, but see, we don't necessarily have a voice in that. The voice is coming from a very specific place.
Men.
Well, I mean, men within that hierarchy.
So, you know,
It's like if you ask
what
Tyler and I, we don't have that same opinion.
What you're not helpless about is like, remember the body positive episode that Austin was going on a wonderful
this is what I was saying
rant
before. Like, as a celebrity, we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to speak forward about that. But I think what we need and why you even join this podcast after 10 episodes of us bumbling through the motions is that we are woefully inept at knowing how to actively help the right way.
Okay.
You know, because it's such a minefield for a man not being able to like.
So we have to start a trend.
Yeah.
Hashtag
like
mom
we
bod
can
with
be
the heart eyes emoji.
Yeah.
we can be body positive and act that way,
Yeah.
but like the further steps than that gets harder and harder for us because
but it's all these micro actions, you know, it's complimenting your female friends, complimenting your male friends.
you're beautiful, by the way, and you do not
you
look
look-
like
you look
the
great
little
today.
lad guy.
Thank you.
He took your haircut, not the other way around. He's wearing a woman's haircut on a man, and honestly,
It's a gender neutral
it doesn't really work
haircut.
for him, but it works for some men really well.
Yeah, it's a gender neutral haircut.
It is,
But thank you.
For those who don't
But,
know, bangs with longer
you
hair in
know,
the back.
it's just like, you know, not shunning people for their body size. And, you know, we had that episode where Austin was talking about that and it was wonderful and hopefully
was
it
wonderful.
influenced
Yeah, it was a great
people.
episode.
And, you know, like,
It's like 75 people or something.
Hey, 450 followers.
On that episode?
Not on that episode.
Oh,
no.
okay.
You influenced about, I think
So
86
something.
people.
Yeah.
yeah, so it's just like micro actions and being an awareness and spreading awareness. And if like your guy friends are shit talking a girl for her body or like saying she's not cute or something like that,
Call 'em out.
Call them out. Mm-hmm. It might be weird for a minute, but fuck that guy. They suck anyway.
No, it's better to
and
be
they're
weird.
probably just insecure and projecting. So like, see if they're doing okay.
So call them out and then do an aside with
Be
them
mean and then be nice.
and then make sure that they're good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And figure out what sort of trauma in their life is causing them to lash out at people who
Yeah.
otherwise don't deserve it.
And then they'll break down crying like, I don't know, I just finished really soon.
I don't know. I heard about this horse.
Oh, the horse.
You got to bring it full circle, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not a
that's
good
true.
way to end
Yeah,
a joke,
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Heard about
Anyway,
dinosaurs.
yeah, good on. Yeah, so just
Yeah.
do all that.
Well, shit, guys.
So-
you want your
so
moment of Jeff? Or
moving
Yeah,
forward.
Yeah, let's
Hashtag mom bod heart
Heart eyes,
eyes
yeah,
we're
emoji.
gonna
let's
start a trend.
let's familiarize people with hashtag
So,
mombod.
We're
Yeah.
gonna push that when this episode
And,
comes out.
and that's going to be the
on-
title. That's the title of the episode. It's this week's episode is hashtag mombod.
Hashtag
We are
mombod.
going to get people.
with the heart eyes emoji. Though it's really important.
I don't know how to do that
So
on
it's-
my thing,
It
but
shows us that if you do it on Instagram, it allows you.
I'll title the episode hashtag mombod dash heart eyes emoji.
No, you could just say like we love mom bod or something.
Okay, something mombod.
Yeah, I don't think the audience
Something
needs that.
mombod positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they need to know why we got here.
Just call it body positive. Hashtag mom bod.
We already did body positive, so this time it's going to be specific to mombod.
Anyway, let's have a moment of Jeff.
All right, you guys ready for a moment of Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to lead you into this moment of Jeff, because this one, last week as the starter, I gave you an easy, palpable one with him, the Jeff song. Mm-hmm. This week, we're diving straight into the middle of an interview. Okay. So just to get you caught up, Jeff's beautiful wife and mother of his two children speaks French fluently and often speaks French to his children. Jeff doesn't. So we're going to jump into a Jimmy Kimmel interview with Jeff Goldblum specifically about this topic. Are you ready?
Okay, ready.
Here we go. Your moment of Jeff.
She speaks French to the kids. Your wife speaks French to the kids.
Yeah.
Do you speak French?
No, I don't. No. So sometimes I can feel a little sensitive and a little left out. So I say, please, translate when you're around.
Oh, so the three of them sit there and speak French. and
Well,
you're
they
not-
don't. Well, the one doesn't
Well, the
speak at
one-
all,
yeah.
da, da, da. But yeah, yes, the one is learning a little bit, and she just speaks, and I go, well, I gotta be, grown up about this. I'm not. But there may come a time when They're talking to each other in French. I better learn French.
Yeah, you should learn French.
I should have learned it already, but I should learn French.
They're going to bamboozle you.
They'll
if you don't
bamboozle
learn
me.
French.
I have one song. All I know is one song. I should have learned it by now, but I have one song, but it's a dirty song.
Oh, in French?
I probably can't say it. Je pense à Fernande, je bande, je bande. Je pense à Félicie, je bande aussi. Je pense à Léonard, Armande, je bande encore. Que je pense à Loulou, le jeune, le bande bleu. Le bande des osses, ne se commande pas. Here's what it means. It means when I think of this one girl, I get an erection. When I think of this other girl, I get an erection. When I think of the third girl, I get an erection. But when I think of Lulu, no erection. The last line, the point of the story being, you can't command yourself to get an erection.
Oh, well, that's a great
Poor
lesson. You
Lulu.
teach that one to the kids.
A great lesson.
Depends.
If you like
Lulu.
that video,
Lulu doesn't.
Lulu
need
might have
that.
been a dog or something. Yeah.
So
You meant a literal dog, right?
Yeah, not like that. Yeah, not after that hashtag.
It's like don't backstep this. We had a good one.
Yeah.
I didn't pick the moment of Jeff because of everything we talked about. I had it lined up early, but it does sort of relate slightly. But no, also, you don't have to be sexually attracted to every single female and every single female doesn't have to feel like they have to be sexually attractive for other males. That is like totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sometimes
all
it's more
realms.
about feeling comfortable than feeling
It's
attractive.
all about feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
yeah. Poor Lulu.
Poor Lulu, though.
Still, right?
Lulu the dog.
Jeff's probably one of the only people I want to find me attractive.
That's a lie, and we all know it.
Who knows? You might have been the next line in the song.
Yeah, that's true. I don't speak French, so I'll never know. Well, guys, I think this was informative, productive,
Yeah.
educational, sweet,
Yeah.
funny,
Kinda
heartfelt,
sad at
a little
times.
sad at times.
sad.
I mean, we hit like a dramedy, like on the nose.
I mean,
today.
we have the atmosphere today.
We did the whole thing in
know.
the dark.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize, like, when you guys came in,
the power was out. 'cause
when
we
you guys
unplugged
came in, the
fridge.
sun was out, and I didn't think twice about it. We've done this whole episode in almost pitch black surroundings with just the light of our little podcast board lighting up.
I'm like having trouble seeing Janine.
Yeah,
You like it that way.
just the voice in the darkness.
It's a body positivity episode, so
Yeah.
we're doing it in the
We
dark.
can't see. Everybody looks better in the dark. Yeah.
Well, on that note, guys, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's bid him adieu.
Hey, adieu. This has been featuring Jeff Goldblum. It's been featuring me, Mr. Tyler Armstrong.
And featuring me, Mr. Austin Armstrong.
And featuring me, Uncle Janine Armstrong.
I like that new title for you. I really like that.
It's been nice having you guys. Hashtag Mom Bods. I think today of this coming episode that you guys will receive on Wednesday. I think this will be the first episode that I don't post a Jeff picture. I'm gonna try to find some body positivity mom picture to post, just to really drive it home. If I figure out a way to Photoshop Jeff's head on it,
Perfect.
so be it.
How about a picture of Jeff with a body positivity mom?
Great, I can do
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
I think
keep on
that'll be
brand.
around. Yeah,
I like
keep
it.
on brand. Yeah.
Perfect.
I'll start working the elementary school kids. Well, I mean, our sister.
Yeah, we'll get her on next episode so we can really like, pitch the idea to her and get
I
that
think it'd
in
be good.
deep.
Love it.
Yeah, we can call her or something.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Love you.
Sleep well. Love you. Any of you out there, listeners, Diablo 2 Resurrected is out, by the way.
Yeah,
Austin and I will be playing.
you can play with us.
You can find me at Tiberius Titan. You can find Austin at Colzer89. We'll be